Shalom family, welcome back to part 3. Let's jump right in. You may remember the video I did about a gunman approaching Obama's limo while he sat outside the restaurant Mother Wolf. The restaurant Mother Wolf uses the logo of the she-wolf nursing the twins Remus and Romulus.
You boys twins? Nah, we cousins.
Remus and Romulus were both wolf men who acquired the ferocity and territorial nature of the lupa by consuming her milk. This connects the twins of sinners not only to the twins Remus and Romulus, but also to the twins Apollo and Artemis, who carry the wolf in their very origin. Artemis was associated with Wolf Mountain, Lycaon, and she was called Lacaina, meaning she-wolf. Her twin Apollo was called Lycaeos, meaning Lord of the Wolves. This underlying narrative of the wolf was further presented to the public through March Madness in the Final Four. This was specifically done through the connection of March Madness to lunacy or lunatics, based on the ancient beliefs that the phases of the moon caused madness or caused people to act like lunatics. The Latin root luna was already tied to moon sickness and erratic behavior, which is a perfect metaphor for a man losing control of his beast. Moreover, the madness of the werewolf occurs during the full moon. Secondly, the theme of werewolves was further pushed through the statement, "I am wolf," that was embedded into the logos of the Final Four teams. The connection of March Madness to the werewolf and the moon then led us to the Artemis II mission to the moon that was launched on April 1st, or April Fool's Day. A shot to the moon on April Fool's Day and March Madness continues the theme of lunatics. Not only that, but since Artemis is connected with the twins,
Nah, we cousins.
the moon, the wolf, and lycanthropy, this further solidifies the connection. Her twin Apollo, who is also a wolf, is connected to the moon as well through the Apollo missions to the moon 50 years ago. We know Apollo is the sun god and is the same as Apollyon, the king of the bottomless pit, as found in Revelation 9:11. Not only was the Artemis II mission launched on April Fool's Day, but more importantly, April 1st was Passover, the day the Lamb of God was selected to be slain and crucified on the cross. This literally reflects the verse about Mashiach sending us forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. The Artemis also had on board a zero-gravity indicator called Rise. This was meant to point us to the rising sun, the theme of resurrection, and the rise of the king of the bottomless pit. Keep in mind the fact that an armed man approached Obama's limo just outside of the restaurant Mother Wolf. This is predictive programming, preparing the world for the deadly head wound that this Antichrist must suffer and rise from. Now check this out. Bad Bunny was the headline performer for this year's Super Bowl on February 8th, which occurred exactly 8 weeks before April 5th, which was Easter Sunday. And Easter is connected with Eostre, Artemis, or Ishtar, the Queen of Heaven, wolves, and Easter bunnies, or rabbits. The phrase Espíritus de Fiera translates from Spanish as spirits of the beasts or spirits of the wild. In Latin American and Caribbean traditions like Espiritismo or Santeria, Espíritus refers to supernatural entities, ancestral souls, or vital energies that influence the physical world. If interpreted as fiera, it refers to wild spirits, often associated with raw, natural forces or untamed energy. In pagan traditions, the rabbit is the spirit of the wild that symbolizes the return of life after winter. But get this, Bad Bunny also played a Mexican assassin called the Wolf in the movie Bullet Train. Bullet Train points to a bullet to the brain or a deadly head wound that the wolf or Antichrist will suffer and rise from. In fact, the main villain, called the White Death, actually receives a deadly head wound at the end of the movie. The theme of the wolf as Satan and the resurrection of a false messiah can also be found in the movie called Wake Up, Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. During the Good Friday Mass in the movie, after Monsignor Jefferson Wicks collapses in a locked room, Martha Delacroix lets out a dramatic scream shouting "Satan" as she points to the murder weapon, which is a dagger with a handle shaped like a wolf's head with devil horns.
Satan struck him down, the devil, or Satan!
Oh no. This ornament was stolen from a local pub called Il Diavolo, or the Devil. The name of the victim, Monsignor Jefferson Wicks, is a symbolic play on words related to his fiery character. Wicks refers to the part of the candle that burns, mirroring his reputation as a fire and brimstone preacher. Wicks also points to Wicca, the practice of witchcraft, and the wicked, highlighting the character's immense corruption and manipulative or wolf-like nature. The name Wicks further points to Lucifer, the light bearer, since a wick is essential for producing light. This is a story where Wicks uses his light or authority to feed his own ego or pride and vanity, like Lucifer. Wicks's illegitimate son is a mixed breed, half white, half black man and failed politician named Cy Draven.
And he embraced me as a son for the first time in my life. He unburdened himself.
This is clearly a reference to Obama. In fact, he is connected to the rising sun or enlightenment of the sun in the movie.
And he embraced me as a son for the first time in my life. He unburdened himself. His grandfather's family fortune lost all these years. He told me he found it just this week.
No, that money is gone. Nobody knows where Prentice put it, but it's gone without a trace.
He told me he found it.
The name Cy Draven hides the secret to his identity. Cy is short for Cyrus, which means Lord or King. It is also associated with the sun, contrasting it with the gothic dead men themes of the movie. The name Draven is strongly associated with the raven, a bird linked to death, omens, and secrets in literature. Thus, the king of the dead.